Hello everybody and welcome to Vicky Pattison, The Secret To. This week I am joined by stars of the Family Diaries, reality royalty, and the King and Queen of Essex basically. It's Billie and Greg. Shout out everybody!
Yeah.
Hi!
Vicky.
How are you feeling, guys?
Yeah, good, thank you. Glad to have a bit of sunshine today. Always makes you feel better, doesn't it?
Yeah, it is lovely, isn't it? Spring's definitely in the air.
It's the first sign of sun, isn't it, this year?
I bet you can't wait to get out in that bloody garden of yours. I've seen the projections. When's the pool going to be ready, and when can I come round for a pool party?
I know. Don't worry. You'll definitely be invited. Greg's like literally.
I'm on it. The garden's going to be done before the house is going to be done.
No, the garden is actually nearly done. That is the thing. Like all the garden's nearly done, and the house is just like a big empty shell at the moment still. But we're getting there.
I've got a bit of a confession, actually. Like when I seen you post your projections from your garden, I slid straight into the DMs of the fellas you used. I couldn't believe it. Like it's unreal, that isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, no, they done a really good job of that, didn't they? Actually, yeah, we're hoping it's sort of like it's going to plan, but it's so mad because when you start doing things, then you realise, oh, that doesn't work.
Yeah,
quite
change things around where sun's going to be and things like that.
Yeah, like
change a few things.
Yeah, like you have to think. Like I was saying to Greg, like, is the sun going to be there? We're going to be able to sunbathe there, and like like you sort of have to. But we're getting there. We're getting there.
Well, that's why you hire like experts, isn't it? Like I'm so out of my depth with all this, like house and garden stuff. Like it almost feels like I became an adult, but didn't really have any of the things that adults have.
Yeah,
like, I just feel a bit lost and out, like overwhelmed.
No, we're exactly the same.
Oh my god,
we
don't like. They talk about all this. They say all these words when we're up in the house, and I'm like, what is that? Like I don't know what that is, and sometimes I feel a bit silly. Like they must think, oh, here she is. Like, hasn't got a clue.
Yeah.
But I'm like, no, I don't know what that means. I'm like, can you explain it to me? Like
we had to get like 150 ton of type 1 for the garden, so Billy's always hearing me going type 1.
I'm like, what is type 1?
Sort of goes on and like Billy's like, what is type 1? I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I'm just.
But Greg's like on the phone constantly, like sorting stuff out, and now like he's sort of getting like some of these words, and you're like saying.
Oh, is Greg loving it?
Yeah, I'm fancying myself, but yeah.
Oh, he's loving it. He's up there every day, like marching about. It's really funny.
Oh, but I do feel like it's good. I would love Erkan to be a bit more involved. Like the only time Erkan ever gets involved is when I tell him fucking how much stuff costs. And then he goes like, how much? No, give them a ring. There's no way that's right. And I'm like, I swear to God, babe. Like, it's just insane, guys. Like, I hope you feel the same way as me.
Yeah.
But like, I am again just like, every time I hear how much something costs, I'm like, honestly?
Yeah.
The killer for us has been trees, like bushes and trees and all that. It's insane. I was shocked. I nearly fell over when they told me how much they are.
It is like a when you're doing a house, and obviously you know as well, it is like a money drain, isn't it? But I said to Greg, I was like, look, I don't think we'll do this again. I was like, this is like
never again.
Yeah, once in a lifetime. But we're slowly getting there, aren't we?
It's like, if this is your forever house and this is where you're going to bring up your family, guys, and make loads of lovely memories, like I can completely understand like wanting to make sure everything's perfect and everything's right. But I did just read this morning, like I do go away and do my research and the first thing that pops up when you Google used to is that you aren't getting on with your neighbours.
Oh, don't. No,
what's going on?
No. So basically what happened was, going back to when we first applied for planning permission for the house, one or two of the neighbours had basically, it got pushed back. They was like, oh, we're not happy.
It was one.
One of the neighbours. And basically, because we spoke about it on the show, it became a bit of a storyline on the show. So that was that. And then recently, we don't know, I mean, you know as well, like we do, sometimes the press want to rerun stuff and then they make it sound out. But that story, honestly, has come out of nowhere. Like, since we've started the build, the neighbours have been
we're fine with our neighbours. And we don't want them seeing that and thinking, well, who've they got a problem with us? Because we haven't got a problem with any of them. And they've been good as gold. So it's like, I don't want to like stoke the fire when there's no need to.
They've been, to be fair, they've been absolutely, and the amount of work and like disruption down that road at the minute, it's a lot going on. but they've been really good. But me and Greg, we was like, we sort of wanted to set the record straight as well, because we thought, do you know what? We're going to be moving in there. None of our neighbours are going to like us otherwise. So yeah.
Well, they won't like us after the first pool party.
No, definitely not if I'm invited. Oh, well, let's hope that they're big fans of Vicky Pattison, The Secret too, and they've listened to this.
Yes.
That's it.
And now the record, I'm sure they will be. I'm sure they will be. Put the record straight. Oh, that's funny. Because I did hear you was spending a fortune on these great big trees, and I thought, fucking hell, how much do they hate them like?
No, that's just a privacy by the pool for when we skinny dipping. You know.
Oh, yeah. No,
you know what it's like.
I get it, Greg. Nobody needs to see the full moon. I get it. So, right, guys, I recently found out, and I'm sure like everyone else, that Sam's left, obviously, the show, hasn't she? And now it's just focused on you guys. Right, do you feel loads of pressure? Do you feel excited? Or what's the vibe?
So when like obviously she first left the show, we was a bit like nervous. Obviously, we thought, oh gosh, how are we going to do this? Because it's gone from like 8 of us, let's say, to just us 4.
I know, and you must miss them a bit.
Safety in numbers, but what happened was the sort of 2 series leading up to just before when Samantha left, we was only doing it on our own anyway because of lockdown, because we wasn't allowed to see each other.
Oh yeah, of course.
It kind of like weirdly, because we did filming like as and when we could throughout lockdown, but the restrictions meant we couldn't film together. So it in a weird way, it eased us in. But
soft launch. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. But it still did feel like if someone had said to me like sort of 2 years ago, let's say, oh, you two are going to do the show on your own with the kids, I'd have been like, no, I can't do that. No way. I was like, I need my sister. Like,
it was safety in numbers sort of thing, wasn't it?
And also like it is, you know, like I do really miss filming with Samantha. Like it's because we do, you know, we had so many fun times all together, but I suppose like because of the lockdown thing, we have kind of it eased us in, didn't it?
Yeah. And I mean, you've still like in terms of you and Sam, you've got the podcast now, haven't you, Bill? So it's not like you never get to see her.
Exactly. Do you know what? That's why we said like it was such perfect timing to do that now, because where we're not filming together anymore, it's a great excuse like once a week to get together. We're having a chat, we're catching up, and we're working together again. So it has worked out well.
I love that. But then it does mean that you guys have probably got to up your game in terms of this reality TV show. Greg, are you feeling the pressure, mate, or do you just like, no, I give birth to charisma, I'm going to be fine?
I enjoy it. No, I enjoy it. I probably enjoy it more than anyone. But it's just like, if you're doing it, you might as well do it and do it properly. And like,
Greg thinks he's a producer on the show.
I am.
He's like, I am a producer. He's like, he liaises like with our producers more than what I do. He's like on the phone to him like, I had this idea, or you know, we're doing this, we're doing that. And then sometimes like when we're filming, he'll be like, oh, did you get that? And like you do produce the show. We all laugh.
But then, Greg, because you obviously, Bill, you're a bit like me, like reality TV veteran. Like we've been at it for a bit of a while now, haven't we? Like, OGs, I like to say. It just feel a little bit younger than veteran. But like, Greg, you are kind of you were slow to the game. How come you didn't fancy Towie, but then you all over this one?
When I first got with Billie, they interviewed me to go on Towie. There's a bright long story behind it, but me and my friends were going to go on Towie, and then we didn't end up going on for whatever reason. And I think that's sort of our saving grace. We probably wouldn't have been together. We start going on shows like that as a couple. Not many of them last today.
No, it is.
So it's like sort of like disaster. And then
I think no, but also for me, when I was first with Greg, when I was on Towie, I always really enjoyed being on Towie on my own, like no relationship drama. Like obviously, you know, my sister, like Fern, like everyone was on there who I was friends and family with. But
she had a free ride on Towie.
Yeah,
you actually had a really nice fucking time, Bill, to be fair.
Compared to everyone else is getting thrown under the bus every week. Billie was just telling that like, you can talk to me about anything. I'm not involved in it.
You're looking absolutely gorgeous every time, just standing on everyone's shoulder to cry on. You had a touch. You're not daft.
I think the baby diary, because originally Samantha was doing the baby diaries, and I was eased into it slowly, sort of thing.
Yeah. And even like when it was the mummy diaries, it was more focused like going back to, let's say, series 1, it was more focused around me and Samantha. And then obviously the boys naturally were more involved. And then Now look, your name's on the title.
He's smashing it.
I had a cunning plan.
It's dead nice, I think, that like it's happened probably slowly, Greg. Not that I'm saying like you're a shy fella or out, but I feel like when you get thrown into the deep end with this sort of stuff, like I did on Geordie Shore and like all the rest of the shows that people have done, people on Love Island, it's a baptism of fire.
Yeah, it's overnight. You're overnight in like huge fame overnight and huge following overnight and big shoes to fill like overnight, I suppose. But with me, it's sort of eased in. So
yeah, like I suppose what you're saying, like with Love.
Yeah, with Love Island straight in there. Like Geordie Shore was huge and like it was all at once, wasn't it? And there's only like 8 of you in there or something like that. So yeah. It was,
and you can I felt the pressure to be, especially because I was a bit younger and all, like I felt the pressure to be something I probably wasn't for the most part. Don't get us wrong, like love a drink, definitely didn't mind a row 10 years ago. Now I physically can't, I just get the worst anxiety. But yeah, like back then it was a lot of who I was, but also I felt like pressure to try and perform for everybody. And I don't know, like, I think because we're all older now, like, we're not going to be susceptible to as much of that. Like, you're definitely just who you are in real life on the show. And it's really refreshing. I suppose, I wonder if that's a part of your success. Do you feel like it's made it for you going on a little bit later, Greg? Like, you were able to be... I feel like,
I feel like our honesty on there is probably helps us as well.
Yeah, like... with Greg as well, like I think there's not like and people do really enjoy, there's not much filter, like you are just, like you are just sort of like how you would be, and like even I suppose when it comes to like family life,
just basically a bit of a dickhead all the time.
But people enjoy it.
No, but honestly, people are mad for it. Like, you guys have been so requested in terms of coming on, but also like I asked yesterday on Insta, I was like, have you got any questions for Billie and Greg? And everyone was absolutely buzzing like an old fridge to have you on. But Greg, like, everyone's obsessed with you and when you're going in the jungle.
I think this. Yeah,
I haven't had any tips, son.
I would love.
Look,
I think that's
from the Queen herself.
I feel like them questions only get asked or they go in the press because sometimes people would ask me, "Would you love to do it?" And I like most people, you'd say, "Go in the jungle." Like,
but I do think Greg would be really good in the jungle. We do laugh and joke about it. We always put it out there. We're like, just so everyone knows what's going in. But I do think he would be really good in there.
Oh, get it out there, like manifest it, like that. I'm a firm believer in all that. I'd absolutely love to see you in there, son. But I hope it's back in Australia because that was a blinding experience.
Yeah.
Like,
as much as you wouldn't turn down the castle, but you'd be gutted. You'd rather be in Australia.
Oh, aye. It just hits different when it's sunny, doesn't it? Like, so good. So, guys, honestly, what can we expect from the next series then?
Few rows.
Decisions.
Light and shade, it's got to be, hasn't it?
No, it's do you know what? It's we've seen the first 3 episodes of the show, and it's actually, this series feels really raw, really real. Like there's kind of been like so much going on, and we've just really had to say to them this series, like, just come with us, just follow us with everything. And although every series they follow us with a lot, but this time it feels like more than ever, doesn't it? Like we're filming more than ever. So they're just literally capturing everything of our lives. And we've got like loads going on with the house, the kids, like we were saying, like with Nelly and Arthur. So the series starts going back to Christmas time, and Arthur was being a bit challenging, to say the least. Like he got in trouble at school, and you know, we do, like, we share it all, because I think other parents and like people that watch the show, they know that life isn't all roses and, you know, like sunshine and lovely, and we are so open with it and honest, and I think that's probably part of the success of the show, is that people can relate to it. Like kids do get in trouble, kids do misbehave, and then with Arthur it's like a bit of a journey actually, because he's at the beginning of the series he's like, you know, just
rascal,
being naughty, and then like as it goes on you kind of see like a real transition in him, and like that's quite a nice thing to see, isn't it? Like with him especially. Nellie's just like her sassy little self. Like she's
hard work though now.
She's now we're sort of getting like a little bit of attitude.
Do you think it's almost like preteen stuff? Because I find that stage would probably terrify me, but like you can't avoid it, can you?
Honestly,
I don't know. I suppose hormones, do they start kicking in?
I was like,
probably Greg.
I was googling it the other day, like what age do children start to get hormones? Because I was thinking she can't be this angry with me. I'm like, darling, brush your teeth. I know to brush my teeth, and I'm like, I'm on edge around my 7-year-old.
Oh, but that's the thing. Like, what series are you on now?
We're on. This will be series.
Well, this is series
11, is it?
No.
Well, it would be 11 if it was Mummy Diaries.
Yeah.
Series 2 of the Family Diaries.
Series 11 in total, yeah.
You don't get to like make series. You don't get to make 11 series of any reality TV stuff without developing like a huge fan base, without making something that people are actively invested in. And I honestly believe the only way you get people to be invested is by being genuine and likable and relatable and showing these ups and downs with Nellie and Arthur. Like, it is part of life. Like, Jesus Christ, I know myself, even if I'm looking at sort of like Instagram or socials and stuff, I have to unfollow people who make their lives look like they're just perfect all the time.
Yeah.
And like what I want to watch on the TV is the same. Like, unless I'm seeing something real and genuine and organic, I'm just not interested. So keep doing what yous are doing, man. Like the brushing the teeth arguments, the sassiness. I'm living for it all.
Oh, thank you.
So guys, strip it right back. I want to know how yous met.
Oh God. So so basically we knew each other. You know, like when you're younger and like in groups, like we'd go to like Marbella and like be in the same places.
I first see Billie in Marbella. Oh.
Was it love at first sight, Greg?
No, well, when I first see Billie, she would have only been like 17, 18, and I was like 22, 23. So
that's all right. Everyone likes an older fella, doesn't it?
But she was young, like, I don't know, 23-year-old going at like 18-year-old. So we didn't even talk then, did we? We just knew her. I just see her, and we didn't talk. That was like in my bad days.
So we knew each other, like,
around the area,
friendship groups, mutual friends. And then Greg and I I'd say that's when you fancied me.
Yeah, when you fancied me.
So what happened was we was like a few of me and my friends, we was in Ibiza. Greg was there for his friends, and we had like mutual friends. So we naturally we was like, we'd see each other and we was like sort of hanging out together. And then nothing happened at all on that holiday, but I knew that Greg fancied me and I quite fancied him a little bit. So when we got
Samantha sort of said.
Samantha was
going, Greg, I know you fancy my sister, and I said, yeah, of course I do. And then it sort of went like,
And then when we got back, Greg, a few weeks later, when we got back from Ibiza, Greg asked me to go on a date. And then I was just like, yeah, okay. Like, so I went on the date with him. And then that was pretty much it, wasn't it?
Yeah, like, we went to like 3 or 4 different places in the West End, and she ate at every single place. She ate at every single. I was like, she was eating like, went from like eating like Chinesey, like in that.
No, we went to like a Thai, the Crazy Bear.
The one in London.
The one in London.
And then like eating like Chinese food, and then she'd have like fish pie at the next place, and I was like, oh, and then.
Cheese and ham toasted later.
And then the cheese and ham toasted to finish it off in the evening. I was like, are you sure?
3 times.
We was out from like 1 o'clock, but like it was all like, sometimes, I'm not going to eat, on dates. And,
I wasn't that.
She wasn't worried about it.
I wasn't that girl that was like, I'll just have a salad.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll have a fish pie.
No, but I love that though. I feel like that is definitely what made him fall in love with you.
Yeah.
The appetite. You're good.
Exactly. Yeah, no, and then that was it, wasn't it, really?
And I ended up at Brentwood, and then...
then Greg...
And then 18 months later, we bought this house, didn't we?
Yeah.
So how long have you been together all together then?
Just over 10 years now.
10.5 years.
That's a kind of good milestone, that. And of course, 2 kids, the wedding, which was just unbelievable. Like, I still talk about them pictures of you. Like, Not even your Maldives ones, because they were fucking obviously sick.
Oh,
but you know the ones that is like in London at the
the registry.
Yeah,
the registry. They are some of my favourite pictures of you guys. Like they're just so nice. So what was planning the wedding and everything like? Because obviously I'm about to start. So any tips you can give us, guys?
Are you going to get married abroad, or are you going to do it over here? You're not sure.
Dead on it. So like obviously Erkan's Turkish Cypriot, isn't he? But
like of course, yeah.
Born and raised in Welland. So whenever I say like where do you want to go, he's like, oh, Cyprus. And it's not that I'm not like
that'd be good. Hot.
But I'm dead like respectful of his like family upbringing and all the rest of it. But I'm like, I'm sure the woman's meant to choose like from where she was from. If that was it,
Newcastle.
Well, he doesn't like Newcastle. He says it's too cold. He says he won't be able to consummate. Bless him. So I reckon if that's his reasoning, we're all gonna have to go somewhere warm. But did you like try going different places beforehand?
We did. So we looked Italy. Into a few different places. We even looked over here. So we was looking over here at venues, didn't we? And we was really like, oh, hearts and want to get married abroad. And obviously we'd been to the Maldives a couple of times. We'd got engaged in the Maldives, didn't we? And
but we thought it'd be like financially getting married in the Maldives.
We just didn't really. And then one day I remember we was trying to look into other venues abroad, and I rang Greg. I was like, Greg, I'll never forget. I was in hairdressers. I just thought, what are we doing? We're trying. I was like, should we just try and do it in the Maldives? Shall we just get married in the Maldives if we can? So we flew out to the hotel,
an island that we'd been at,
the island that we'd been at.
But you had like memories in that.
Yeah. So we flew out there for like 3 nights. I never forget. My mum had the kids, and we sat down the hotel manager. We told them what we wanted to do, and then that was it. We come back and we was like, right, we're doing it. We're going to get married in the Maldives, and we give everyone obviously a lot of notice and everything else. But it was. I mean, don't get me wrong. It was stressful. Because what it
100 people in a little island, you've got to get them all there. And
what it was as well, it's like anything on the, so unless anything you wanted was on the island, so like all like the decor, everything like that had to be sent there.
Dance floors, lighting,
like everything
all that
had
stuff.
to be sent to the island, so we had to get everything there. So that made it. And I was saying the other day actually to my manager Xanthi, we was laughing because she's also getting married this year. And I said to her, why did I do all of that gifting for all my guests, right? When I done these packages, and obviously it's lovely, and I think people did appreciate.
Is this like the wedding bags? Because everybody on the DMs was saying, what did Billie put in the gift, like the wedding gift bag?
So I went too far with it.
Everyone
had Havanas, 2 lots of sun cream, hats. I done like packs for all the kids as well, like activity packs, and then I done makeup bags, like straw bags to put like your bits in round the pool. Well, men's hats, children's hats,
initials on,
and we've all personalised. But you know what it was?
Jesus Christ, Billie, you don't make things easy for yourself, do you?
I didn't, and now I think to myself, obviously that's going back like 3 years ago. I think I would never do that now. I just think because I do like maybe a little statement. I stressed myself out so much to get all this stuff out there, because then we had to ship it all out there. Some of it didn't make it to the island and come back come back in a box to my house like 6 months later, like return to sender some of the hats.
Yeah, some of the ladies, that's my fault. I sent them the cheap way.
Greg said it, yeah. So imagine
that balloon.
Yeah, it was honestly, but
they didn't get there.
It's
the men's got there, didn't they? But the women's
didn't get there. About 6 months later,
we've got them here still.
We've got them in the garage. About 6 months later, a big box of personalised hats turned up at my door.
Just do a vow renewal and give them out then.
Yeah, give them out then.
We're talking about doing that.
We said maybe
5 or 10 years. 10 years maybe.
Well, yeah.
I don't. Yeah.
You'll be in your 40s.
I think I don't know if they let us back on the island 100 people again, but they might let us something like 30 or 40.
Did you leave a good impression?
Yeah, we did. But a lot of there was loads of press around it when it was all going on, but there was just a couple of people on the island that didn't really like the fact that there was 100 people there having a wedding, and people looking for upgrades and just wanting to moan about nothing. There was nothing. It was nothing like what they.
There was loads of like press articles around when, but we found out there was a couple of people on the island that were not in our party, like that were like tourists staying there, but they were selling stories on
No.
the bus, but they were trying to get like, they bear in mind 100 people. Most of the venues we had we'd hired private about like events that we'd done on the island, but they were trying to get like upgrades through the hotel. Like,
oh, that's a bit cheeky, isn't it?
Yeah. And then they were going to like the pay. It was a bit. To be honest with you, I think we were so in the moment. It wasn't until
no one cared that was there.
When we got back, we got back. We was like, we was looking at it all. But when we was out there, we just had the best time, didn't we?
But the favourite article for me was they've turned the Maldives into Southend.
I fucking read that one.
I said at one point, I was like, if I didn't laugh, I'd cry. I was like, you just got to like.
But at the end of the day, there's 100 people on a little island. Plenty of drinks flowing every day, but like there was nothing like what they said. Nothing. Like, it was you know what it's like in the press, Vicky. People just exaggerate things and they make it up, and
I think you're always going to get something, aren't you? And like, I feel like you just had the total right approach. Like, evidently you've had your favourite people around you, you were celebrating your love, and like, you just didn't care when you were there. Like, unpack it when you get back and have a bit of a read. Like, curiosity always gets the better of me. Like, I can't help myself. But like, it didn't dampen it, and that's all that matters, because it is something like, it's part and parcel. I was just saying the other day, like, me and Erkan weren't even going to tell anyone about the proposal. We were kind of enjoying keeping it to ourselves and being like secret squirrels for a bit, like just telling my mates and everything. And you know what it's like, you always forget to tell someone, and then God, if they found out on Instagram, it would just be the worst. Someone videoed us getting engaged and sold it to the Sun.
You're joking.
So that's why we had to come out when we did, and the Sun were dead canny and worked with us and agreed to use our pictures rather than hideous video of me crying on the beach in Dubai. But yeah, like I get it, guys. I'm just really pleased you didn't let it like.
I see all that, and you had the boat party, a little boat party, and that was well, didn't you? After, I see all that.
Do you know what? I just thought after that, I was like, well, fuck this. Let's get the great big balloons out and everything everyone knows now. So I went balls to the wall. But I get it.
Amazing.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you. He's lovely, and I feel very lucky. He was a bit pissed off he wasn't on today. He was like,
I was going to say that. Where's Ken?
He's got to get his car MOT'd. Priorities, guys. Can I ask, will you come back in part 2 and chat all about the kids, all about your modelling, Greg? I'm very interested to find out how you're getting on at George. Perfect. Hello everybody and welcome back to Vicky, Pattison and Secret 2. I am joined by Essex royalty, really, Greg and Billie. How are you guys? Are you okay? He's having a nice time on the pod.
Say that again.
Are you having a nice time on the pod?
Yeah, we're loving it.
We haven't done many of these, have we?
No.
I
feel like we're just chatting with our friends.
No, it's good.
That's what
it's really easy.
That's what we're trying to do. Like, I've been on some and I feel like it's like a Spanish Inquisition, but I always just tell everybody here, like, we're just here to have a really nice time, and I am having a good time. Did you enjoy the party at the weekend?
Oh, it was so good, wasn't it?
Really good.
But did you understand the theme, or was that just me who didn't understand what TikTok was?
No, but you actually wore. You actually went. And so Erkan had the pocket square thing as well. Like you actually. But
you mastered the thing.
No, I don't think many people understood it, did they? No. By looking at what people were wearing.
No clue. Like I messaged Fern and I says like, so I don't get it. Like, am I just putting feathers in my hair and that? What's the crack? And she was like, yeah, everyone's wearing feathers in their hair. And of course, I fucking turned up and there's people in like leather leggings and that. And I was like, you are a lying cow. But it was a good night. It was lovely to see.
Really good. It was really good fun.
So obviously you've stayed so close to Fern, Billie, and of course you're still good friends with Sam. Like, do you keep in touch with everyone from the Towie days, or is your circle like kind of smaller now? You're a busy mummy.
To be honest, it's kind of like I still message like every now and then. You know, like on Instagram, you reply to like certain people. So, you know, like Arj, Gemma, Jess. Now and then we might like chat and text, but Samantha, obviously, she's my sister, and like Fern, I see all the time as well. I think it's so hard because everyone's really busy, like with life, you know, like it's not like if I was to see them, we just pick up straight from where we left off. But I think it's just hard for everyone to catch up with each other as much these days.
And it is like, I think life has different priorities as you get older. Like, even just like me, I was out filming the other day, and the instant reaction when I'd been filming with a group of people normally would have been like, let's go for a couple of drinks after. But all I really wanted to do was go home to Erkan and my dog.
Yeah.
Next stage of life,
true.
isn't it?
Yeah. It's just as we're all getting older, it's changing.
Happens to the best of them, mate. Like with Towie and stuff, and now with this new reality TV show, you've given like an awful lot of your life, Bill, and you now as well, Greg, to like the general public, to everybody who's watching. Is there ever any moments where you sort of think to yourself, like, I just want this for me now? Do you ever struggle?
I think like sometimes we think,
we know it's not forever, and we sort of take each series as it comes, don't we? Especially with the kids. It's
more for us now with Nelly and Arthur. So like anything we do, like with the show and any work, obviously, you know, the kids are always our priority. And I think the thing is now, like Nelly's going to be 8 in July, and really they don't know any different to film, which is, I say to Greg sometimes, like, you got to think, like, when we was little, we don't know what it's like for them to like, not that, you know, their lives are so normal, we keep them as normal as we possibly can. And
just every now and then we have a film crew around here.
But sometimes like we do
having an holiday with us.
Only like at 6:30 in the morning, sometimes the crew are knocking at the door and you're like, not today, I'm not in the mood. But no, it's honestly, I think the key is, like, for us now with the kids, we don't really make, like, we don't do any like scenes, let's say, or like filming where we're like, oh Nelly, you've got to be in this, or like, we just sort of they just follow us. It's very natural, and I think we're lucky, like, you have to get on with your film crew because they are literally part of the furniture. There's only 2 of them, isn't there? Like, they're
and they're really good. They love that,
and the kids love them.
I think that's such an important thing. If you don't,
it is really important. But you know,
we've been lucky, haven't we?
We do say, like, you know, I think especially for Nelly, because what it is now, so Nelly's age group, they might watch the show with their parents. So we're very wary of that, and we're really, you know, if there was a time where Nelly, let's say, was having a bad day or having a tantrum, or I wouldn't necessarily like if she was doing it and the cameras were there, they would put the cameras down maybe for that, because if someone see that on the show and then said to her in school, oh, I see you having a meltdown about that. Not that she does that anymore. I mean, everyone's seen all the Nelly meltdowns over the years. When
we're all entitled to a bad day, Bill. Even
exactly, Nelly. But I think as she's getting older, it's definitely getting a little bit more. We just have to be like,
we take it series by series now, don't we?
We just have to watch.
We know it's not forever,
but it is. You know, it has been amazing, and we've loved it, and it's kind of like, I don't know. It's just like we film all the time, don't we?
Yeah.
It's like quite a.
It's our job, so.
Yeah.
I suppose it's like finding the balance between like having something still for yourselves and having like some semblance of normality and a nice normal upbringing for your kids, but also like sharing what you want to share with everybody else and like making a living out of it. And it's a fine line, but you seem to be doing it really well. I only ask, right, because obviously I've stepped away a little bit from reality TV, and it was like quite a conscious effort. Because it was all I was known for so long, and I thought, I kind of want to try and do different things. I'd love to get into docs, be a bit of a Stacey Dooley, something like that. But of course, like now we're getting engaged and married and everything. Like, you know, the offers come knocking for reality shows about the wedding and stuff. And Greg's kind of a bit like you, Greg. Like, he sort of said, like, oh, I wouldn't mind giving it a go. Like, I feel like he had a bit of a dipped his toe in with Towie, didn't he, for 5 minutes? But I think like now he's ready. And I just want to know if you've had any advice then. Like, do you hold some back for yourself? Like, or do you just go balls to the wall and give everybody everything?
You really have to give it. If you with a wedding, you have to give everything. Don't you like to be like the hen do, the stag do's, and then the build up to the wedding, the dress decisions and things like that. But
I think if you're doing it, it's all or nothing, isn't it? With our wedding, like we really did give it all, didn't we? Blood, sweat, and tears. They say. But it was, and I think that you will really enjoy it. And you know what we say, right? This will be the best thing if you go ahead and do something for your wedding, like a reality show. You have got the best home movie across the whole of your wedding build-up.
That's what I think.
And we prefer watching the show, the wedding show, than our actual wedding video. It's better.
It's 100 times
because
better.
It's like it brings you back to all them memories. And some of it, obviously, you know, naturally there's some stress and drama and this and that. But honestly, it is the best memory ever. And I do think that you will love it. And I think it's important that you definitely get your crew right, who's going to be around you.
Yeah, because you think they're all going to be, when you're away, like hen do's, stag do's, they're going to be there all the time. They're going to be there at your most, when you're getting your makeup done that day, on your big day and things like that. So yeah, definitely get the crew right with it.
Get the vibes right. Well, I know I am dead excited, right? But then I have to ask you a question, right? And like, obviously, this is quite a sneaky one. Did you have secrets, like what's it called? Stag and hens? Did you have secret ones off camera as well, where you got really pissed, or were they all just played out on the show?
No, you did.
I had four.
Of course
you did. And three of them were filmed.
No, what wasn't filmed?
I went to London and I went to that for the boys that weren't come to it was that what's it called?
I'm like, this is one I didn't know about. Place,
Koya. I had a brunch at Koya that wasn't filmed.
I really don't want to cause an argument here.
But I did.
Greg had four. They filmed my I Beat the Hen. They filmed. We done one up at my mum's, which was like a girls' sleepover. I mean, that was wild. Like when girls are all indoors. Yeah. Like
you just proper let your guard down, can't you?
You do, yeah. And then I'd done like a bridal shower, which was a bit more civilized, for like all like the nans and I love that. But they filmed all of my. But they do look like they.
And one before because we done one the night before the wedding in the Maldives.
Oh yeah, we did.
Was that like a joint, like a sten?
No, a stay. Oh, that's a new one.
No. So that's what I was going to ask you as well. Like. So I've got some lad mates, right? And obviously I can't ask them on a hen. Yeah. I feel like that's a bit uncomfortable, like with like Willie Straws and that.
Yeah.
I don't know if my lad mates want to do that. So yeah, so I said like, let's do a joint. Like you can have as many stags as you want, Erkan. Like I'm definitely not a party pooper. I want them to have a good time. But I was like, what about if we do a joint one? And apparently they're calling it stens.
Oh really? Yeah. That's quite a good idea.
Oh, I feel like it
what would happen? Would you get like a male stripper and a female stripper?
Just loads of strippers, Greg. Nobody's allowed to wear clothes. Everyone's just naked.
Right.
Again, I can't let you go without talking about your gorgeous kids in more depth. So like Nelly and Arthur, like arguably the stars of the family diaries. You just must be so proud.
Yeah, no, we are. They are so... you know what it is with them two? Their personalities, like they're both really different, but they're really like with people as well. Like sometimes Arthur could be a little bit more shy to begin with, but when they get to know you, like they really do. They love to socialize. They love people being around the house, don't they? They like to be around people, which is they've got good social skills. Yeah.
Oh, I know. I love that for them. And they are like natural born like performers. Do you think that it was natural, or do you think they've just grown up and got used to it?
Well, it's mad because when
Nelly,
you think
Nelly
about
definitely
it,
Nelly's like she don't talk and she's like me, but
they both just they don't know any different, I suppose, in a way. But then I think as much as like we've always had the cameras in their lives, I think that. Like if it got to a stage where we didn't, I think that would be a natural transition as well. Like I think it wouldn't. It's just, I don't know. It's hard, isn't it? Because like I was saying earlier, it's mad because you don't know. I don't know. Like, is it strange to them? I don't know. But they're like they're always happy, aren't they? If there's ever a point where they said I don't want to do this, or I'm not doing this anymore, then that would be a massive thing for us to.
It means they're not sort of dragged to a location and spend all day. They're like, when Billie used to go and do tarot, she'd be taken to a location all day for 10 hours. It means that this is just potting around the house, an hour or two here and there.
And sometimes it's things that like they'll come along. So let's say if we're going to the park, they're like, oh, can we come along to the park? And we're like, yeah, okay. Fine. Whatever. And then there's always something that happens, isn't there? Like, I don't know, it's always like a drama or, even getting in the car, that kind of thing. But
kids are super robust and like really adaptable, and obviously this is what they got to know. This is their everyday life, and it doesn't seem to bother them. Like they seem to be having a really nice time, so I wouldn't worry about it at all. I've recently just read, and I know it's really rude to ask women like, are you planning any more kids? Are you having? And I don't want to be like, I don't want to pry, but I did read that you're kind of holding off on baby number 3. Do you mind talking about it?
No, we've always said like, oh, it would be lovely to have another baby. I just think at the moment, because we've been saying this now, like I think we've always just said we'd never say never to another baby, but now like I think, my gosh, Arthur's 5 and Nelly's 7. Like, where have those years gone? Like, we've always.
Do you feel like it's flown?
It's flown, and I think because we've been so wrapped up in the house the last couple of years, and that's been such a big focus for us, we've kind of just put that to the side for a minute, haven't we?
We couldn't do it while this house bill's going on because it's just too much stress.
Too much, Greg, honestly, like, I feel your pain, mate. Yeah. We're not even building ours, like, we're just, like, doing, like, interior design predominantly. Like, don't get us wrong, a couple of little changes. We're turning the double garage into a cinema room and that.
Oh, mate.
I'm up a height, and we've just got a dog. I honestly don't know how you do it.
Yeah.
It is busy.
It is, it's a lot of juggling, isn't it, in a minute? Like, literally, there's just, I don't know, it's quite full on, isn't it?
As well, it's like, by 3 o'clock, that school run starts at 3 o'clock. So you've got to try and cram everything in before 3 o'clock. Try and get everything done at the house. Whether we've got work to do.
Yeah. That's quite.
So it's not like you got 9 to 5. It's like that 3 o'clock is like before you know it, you get back and it's 3 o'clock.
Yeah, honestly, well, I feel like it looks like you're juggling it really well. So if a third one does come along, like, I'm sure it'll be when the time's right. Congratulations, Bill. I heard you've got your 11th range coming out with George at Asda.
Yes, that's going really well, thank you.
11's across the board, isn't it? So 11 series and 11th range with George.
Yeah, no, it's going really well actually. That's kind of like grown with the kids as they've got older as well, because when I first started that, it was just the baby range.
Yeah.
And now it's like going up to 8 years, which is great because I think a lot of the customers have got children similar ages, so they're always wanting like the next age and the next size. So it's going really well, thank you.
And Greg, you're finally involved, mate.
I've done a little bit of modelling. I've done a little bit of modelling with Jules. I've done a few like suit shop things as well, which has been quite funny. I never ever thought I'd be a model. Like,
but David Gandhi better watch out.
I know, I know I am and know I'm not, and I never thought I'd be modelling. But I'm embracing it, and I think it's really funny. If anyone asked me to do that, I've done something for Burton's, I've done something for a few other suit shops the last few months. It's just it's.
Is it a pinch me moment?
Yeah, it's a pinch me moment,
No, but then it's amazing, like everything you've managed to achieve in such a short space of time, like successful TV shows, podcasts, clothing ranges, modeling, everything. Like, what is next? Is there something that you kind of think, I really want to tick that off?
I feel like one of us doing a big show as well, like another show, because I know Billie was dancing and ice, but we had loads of stress and she had a bad fall and things like that. I feel like we've never done something else, if you know what I mean, like stepped out of our comfort zones on TV.
Maybe to like do like still stay in TV, but maybe like to do something else, like a different style of TV, like like a different reality show or something like that would be amazing. And to get this.
Well, we always say like we don't know what will happen next when we finish the Family Diaries.
Yeah, we're like we don't know. Who knows?
But
or it could just run, and you could be like UK Kardashians. They're not struggling for cash.
I think the father-in-law would have to do a catering then, wouldn't he? Chatty would do it.
Bless him.
That gets a few more series.
Guys, you could also go in as the first like UK couple in I'm a Celeb. Nobody's done that over here.
Oh my gosh, could you imagine?
We had one, I went and did it. So obviously I did Australia, but then I also went and did one in South Africa for like Australian audiences.
Yeah.
They put a couple in there, but they were really, really annoying. So really, really annoying. Yeah, and I think like she was a housewife somewhere, and she was like the controversial one who always argued with everyone.
Really?
Her husband was quite a annoying politician, and honestly they were just in there to be hated. So I feel like you could be like the more likable version of that.
I feel like I'd annoy Billie, because even like sometimes I only got closer and she'll be like, your jaw's clicking, or
everything.
If I walk into a room brushing my teeth, she'll go, "Why are you brushing your teeth in the room?"
But Vicky, right, bear in mind, right, we live together, we work together, together, we live in the house together, raising kids together. It's actually not normal how much we are together. Like it's sometimes like we do, like it could be the way he's breathing or eating, and I'm like
everything. The smell of me. Oh, you smell ill. Or why are you wearing tracksuits every day? All you do is wear tracksuits. I was like, what am I doing? Where are we going? I'm wearing the track. Like, who cares? So yeah, they might actually. She might get found out if we went in the jungle together.
No, it's proper refreshing to hear this though, because like obviously the questions everyone was asking on my Instagram, it was like, they look so perfect. Like, do they ever row? Do you ever have these moments? And like, obviously I know Instagram and everything's not always what it seems, but like honestly, from the outside looking in, your life looks pretty charmed. So it's so lovely to hear that you do have these normal ups and downs like everybody else.
I feel like this series of the Family Guys as well, because of them decision making, because there's so much decision making,
a lot of pressure.
And I'm trying to do landscape and Billy's doing interior, and we're sort of on each other's backs a little bit with the decision. I feel like there's quite a lot.
You'll see quite a lot of disagreements in this series.
Well, people say, don't they, like, apparently the 3 most stressful things you'll ever do in your life is, like, get married, move house, and get divorced. So, like, you've obviously ticked off, like, 2 of them, and, like, I don't want you to
There's only one left. There's only one left.
But, like, you've done them in a short space of time, so, like, pat on the back, guys. Like, you're still smashing it and everything, you're still smiling, so no, I feel like you're just human, and we're about to have a couple of rows here and then.
Exactly.
Before I let you go, because I know you're so busy and we've only got this 3 o'clock cut off, as Greg mentioned. Here on Vicky Pattison Secret 2, I always ask me gorgeous guests to give our lovely listeners a couple pearls of wisdom, just a little takeaway. And everyone is obsessed with you in your DMs, on Instagram, and I'm obsessed with your family life too. It almost does feel like you really have got that formula right. So I want to know what your secret is to a happy family.
I'd say for me, like, happy wife, happy life. Like, let them think they're in charge. Learn how to nod and smile, and just take it on the chin sometimes.
Not that bad.
Can you please have a word with Erkan? I think he needs to learn this as well.
I feel like that works vice versa though, because I obviously do things that irritate Billie sometimes.
I think like family life, obviously, as we know, it's not all easy and lovely, but I think it's good to have a really good balance with work life, like social life, and also like family life. Like I think it's really good. Like for Greg and I, we both love doing things with our own friendship groups. We love doing things with the kids. We work. Like I think it's kind of getting that balance, isn't it? Like, and it is really important, I think, to like do things separately as a couple, but also do like try and we haven't done
things like Fern's party the other day.
That was good. Like we went there together, like with all our friends. Like that's great. I think it is really nice to also have like time as parents away from the kids, like whether that's a date night or I know it's not that easy. Like even we struggle, don't we? Sometimes because it's so busy, but also just I think like communicating as well. Like communication is so important, like with each other, like as a couple, isn't it? Especially when you both live busy lives and you've got kids, and just makes things easier to be like a little bit organised.
I feel like Billie takes it to the extreme. Like if I'm sitting downstairs and she's in bed, she'll WhatsApp me tea. Just TEA. That's it. She'll say tea. And that basically means she wants a tea.
Or like the tea
and then it might be tea and biscuits.
Oh, I thought you meant you wanted the gossip. Like, what's the tea? Oh no, I like just get us a fucking cup of tea, mate. Yeah. Oh, how do you feel then? Because this is where I feel like me and Erkan really struggle. I feel like we will lie in bed at night and like stare at our phones rather than chatting to each other, and I hate it. Like, I feel like we really need to improve there. Like, do you guys struggle with that?
Yeah, we do the same.
Billie is on the phone, but I'll watch something, but I was moan at her like, why don't you watch this with me? But
I do this. I get into bed and I'm on my phone, catch up on my emails or replying to messages.
She's shopping.
Or shopping. I look online at what I want to look at, but it is really like sometimes Greg will go, you don't watch anything with me, like you don't watch anything. Because
I feel like if you watch something with each other, then you talk about it, like, oh, what about that? How about that happen? And then like Billie just looks up every day and goes, what happened? Who is that? I know, like, what happened there? Like, who's that then? And I go, oh, leave it.
And then he gets annoyed.
Yeah,
but no, we do the same, and it is really bad. Really, like some nights I say to Greg, do you know what? I'm going to sit down here and do what I've got to do on my phone before I get into bed.
Yeah.
Then I try and do that, but sometimes I just think, I just want to get in bed and sit on my phone.
Yeah.
I mean, again, like, we're only human. We're going to have those, like, we're going to do these things that probably aren't that healthy for a relationship, but you're making it work. You're literally one of my favourite couples ever, and I can't wait for the new series. Thank you so much for being guests.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys, and good luck with everything.